Well, we have more AEW with Dynamite, but before we go there, let's break it up a little bit. Because Raw, which we're not going to review all of, no, please no.
No, because we're going to do that next week when they debut on the, what is it? What are they on now? Netflix?
The Netflix.
The Netflix.
Well, there was one thing on Raw this week, though, that was worth you reviewing, and I know you watched it, and let's talk about CM Punk and Seth Rollins.
Well, I was trying to detox from most wrestling, but when I heard about this segment, I didn't turn my DVR off. It was still there. So I had to go back and look. It was the main event, the last segment of Raw, and Seth Rollins, we've liked his promos when he's more serious, and when he does the acid trip thing, we haven't liked him so much, but he still managed to do his gimmick but be serious. And he and Punk went at each other verbally back and forth with the most venomous barbs. They aired out why they don't like each other, and it all made sense with their history, and they both believe that they have a point. And the people were eating it up, and they were oohing and ahhing on every word. It was as good a face-to-face interaction between two opponents building a match as you will see in today's modern environment. And it was done to build up and promote next week. We're going to get the biggest fight. They're calling it the biggest fight in the WWE is going to be Seth Rollins and CM Punk on the debut of Netflix. And they did, what was it? Was it 10 minutes? Maybe it's 15. It flew by because you didn't want it to be over. But they did the best job you could possibly do in today's environment of talking up a fucking match between two guys and making people just halfway believe something might go on. I applauded them for it.
You know, beyond the outfit, this was the best of Rollins on the mic. Someone who I've criticized a lot on the mic. This was the best of what he could do when he actually believes some of what he's saying.
Yeah. And again, that's the thing, is they had Punk, who was half the equation, and we all know how that turned out. And God damn it, it's almost embarrassing at this point that the WWE has Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns that were the Plumbers partners, and they're two of the biggest stars and the biggest company in the world. And here's this fucking bald, obscure motherfucker on the other side trying to do his own indie movie to dwindling response from dwindling audience.
That's right.
But
ripping on me during the Raw review. Who saw that coming?
But I mean, again, this is the guy that when they were all three together, Uncle Dave said, oh, well, the star is going to be this Dean Ambrose character. He's great.
We have great talks.
But yeah, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. I've already had Stacy download or install or upload or whatever you do to the Netflix so I can see it on the TV in the house that I know how to operate. And I'm going to be waiting for the biggest fight in the WWE.
Well, any thoughts on the actual context of the segment, the things they were saying, the insults levied?
Well, yes. Well, I didn't make notes because I was still on my vacation, so I don't want to not do justice to some of their accusations. But it was the flavor of the whole thing. They're both serious. They both sound like they mean it. They both have their points, and they get the oohs and ahs in the right places. And that's the thing, is especially at that stage with that, level of importance on the line, to have something that good between two guys that goes that long and really builds up their fucking issue without resorting to and then somebody's going to jump somebody and put them through a table. They just talked to each other and swore they were going to rip each other limb from limb. That's what we need to see. But there's so few guys that can carry it off.
Should there have been people in between them?
Well, I always now just accept that there's not going to be a show host, an announcer holding the microphone, not even refereeing, but just being the facilitator in between to still make it look like a professional sports program. We've lost that. It's probably not coming back. So yeah, there should. I'm not saying that you should have had 18, guys, indie guys dressed as security guards. People have smartened up to that. Those fucking haircuts that half of them have. Just have the announcer and have the announcer have enough respect from the people, like a Gordon Soley or a Lance Russell or a Jim Ross or whatever, that they're not going to just bully the guy. AEW, Tony Schiavone's the worst, but all of them do it. There'll be an announcer for the program there talking to people, and as soon as somebody comes up and interrupts, they just fucking bail. They do wordlessly, here, take the microphone, you guys take over. The fuck, do they do that in the National Basketball Association? Or on Wide World of Sports? That's so I've accepted that, but yes, it would help, I think, these segments if there was somebody there at least at the start that stayed with it and hung with it until maybe they got heated and snatched his microphone away or whatever the fuck. But somehow maintaining control of the program, but we've lost that in modern wrestling.
What'd you think of I think it was 2 different times, the comments about Vince?
Oh, yeah.
When Rollins said you took your ball and you went home, and Punk rightfully so brought up, that's a Vince line, which is bullshit. And second time, when he said, I didn't have a problem with the place, the guy who ran it.
Well, that was the thing, is when he said, I didn't have a problem with the place, I had a problem with the guy that ran it, but he got the ooh, but then he doubled down on it and said, but he just loved you, didn't he? Whoa.
Oh, that was good.
And, I'm telling it's a friendly shoot. You're not calling out, how bad the guy looks physically or how old he is or how he's had 14 hair transplants. You're getting edgy, cutting lines in on a guy that are sometimes so uncomfortable that the fans may think, well, there's no way he agreed to let him say that. He had to just come out with that. About shit that doesn't detract from anybody. As a wrestler or a competitor or a fucking guy you don't like, you're not trying to be, funny, like stand-up funny where everybody has to laugh. You're like trying to fucking humiliate him with a funny line or stick him with a pointed comment without, bringing up, well, and also, everybody knows that you haven't got your dick hard since 2017. That's why I don't understand why they tear all the guys down on AEW because they don't have any producers, instead of having people building each other up, but making each other uncomfortable verbally in the WWE, which is what is a lot of these promos is what led to the success that they're having now.
Well, that'll be on Raw on Netflix, the big debut, 3 hours, and of course...
Well, no, have you heard this too? God damn it, now we're in worse shape than when we started. Because Raw was 3 hours and SmackDown was 2 hours, but now Raw went to 2 hours and everything was manageable. And now Raw's going to 3 hours and so is SmackDown. So now we've lost another hour of our fucking lives every week.
Why don't we do like a weekly poll, like the fast forward hour? There's 1 hour on one of these shows that enough people agree that we can fast forward that we don't feel like we pissed off too many people.
Well, but the cunning bastards, they sprinkle it through to where, there's at least 1 star in every hour.
All right,
but we'll figure that out.
Well,
but
3 hours of Raw and 3 hours of SmackDown. You know what that really means? It means 1 more hour I'll be falling asleep early. And of course, if you're going to fall asleep early or late or at the normal time...
What are you...
You may need a fine mattress, one of the best mattresses you'll ever have, if not the very best. I love them. You'll love them. Jim will tell you about them. I will bow out.
Well, thank you very much, Tony Schiavone, for just handing me the microphone and walking off to...
I love working here. This place is great.
Stand in the corner. You need a mattress because you need to get a good night's sleep and figure out exactly what you're talking about as to whether or not that we're going to have more time or less time when the shows go to 3 hours. But I've got an idea. Maybe we can sleep through the 3 hours like we used to sleep through the 2 hours. And that way it doesn't matter at all. But it does matter that you get a good night's sleep, folks, on the Helix mattresses that we have been talking about and praising the attributes of for so long now. They are our friends, and they help us fall asleep at night. As a matter of fact, you can get a mattress for any body type, any sleep preference, any size, any shape. Let's say you can't go to sleep until somebody comes over and rubs your tushy. Helix has a tushy mattress that comes with a tushy rubber.
When was the last time I heard the word tushy?
Every time you lay down on this tushy mattress, then someone will come and ring your doorbell and come in and rub your tushy until you fall asleep. That's the service.
That's not the service that we provided
here. Wait a minute,
it's
completely a coincidence that as soon as I got this mattress, the guy started coming and ringing the doorbell every night?
Yeah, listen, that has nothing to, ladies and gentlemen, no one will be ringing your doorbell offering to rub your tushy. No one from Helix Sleep, that is. And of course,
it depends on what neighborhood you live in. You can't make a blanket statement.
Helix Sleep delivers their blankets and pillows and beds to any neighborhood, Jim. And of course, we can let everyone know about that in a very easy way to communicate the information. Tell them, Jim.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to say, let's say you got sleep apnea.
You're doing well.
Or back pain, or have problems sweating when you sleep. Well, they've got mattresses where people will come and rub your back or help you breathe.
No.
They'll put straws up your nostrils.
No.
And help you breathe.
No.
Or they'll dry you off if you're in a bucket of sweat. They'll take the towel to you.
No, they're not going to take a towel to you. There will be no There will be no straws. You'll have nostrils.
They'll take something to you, all right.
No one's coming to rub anything. They're coming to deliver your Helix Sleep mattress, which you will take into your house.
Hey,
open up on your own.
Don't tell these people nobody's coming to rub anything. I'm trying to sell these mattresses.
You're trying to sell a rub. Maybe you need to go into a different business.
I don't want to rub the company the wrong way. Folks, if you go right now to helixsleep.com/JCE, what you're going to do is you're going to take a little quiz on what you like in the way of sleeping, what you like to say, hard, firm mattresses or soft, plush mattresses, or the big ones or the small ones or the heating ones or the cooling ones or all that type of thing, and they will pick you out the perfect mattress, and you purchase that thing. They will bring it to your home. You can place it where you want. You can unbox it, and poof, it appears. And right now, their New Year sale has been extended until January the 12th. You can get 25% off site-wide anything at helixsleep.com, HELIX. 20% off site-wide and 2 of the free dream pillows with every mattress purchase. So how can you afford to not do the thing that you have to do to get a good night's sleep? And that start with a comfortable surface upon which to lay down your weary head and drift off to dreamland. You don't even have to count sheep. And they actually have a special sheep-scented mattress.
No, once again,
for those of you who like to, you'll get the idea that you're in the barnyard.
There are no barnyard-scented mattresses from Helix. The mattresses will be scented with natural scents that you will like and will find pleasing, we hope, as you go to sleep. With Helix Sleep, let's go to sleep, Jim. What's the help?
You think it's just because the truck went by the farm down on the corner before they got here that I got the barnyard scent? It helps me count sheep. I can look at their footprints at the same time. Folks, again, Helix Sleep.
HelixSleep.com.
Yes, /JCE. I'm a COVID survivor.
That's right. Well, I don't know why you threw that in at the end there, but helixsleep.com/JCE. Ladies and gentlemen,
wheeze there.
If you weren't going to support this, Jim is a COVID survivor supplier. I was going to say supplier. Listen, he's a COVID supplier. We need your help. Support Helix Sleep. They are great. Seriously, folks, we have them here in the house. I love them. The kids love them.
They come over regularly. They'll eat you out of house and home, these people.
They will stay out of your home. The mattresses are great. HelixSleep.com /JCE. What's that promo code, Jim?
I'm just wheezing. It's JCE.
All right. Well, let's get back to, hold on.
I got that up. That was a shell I coughed up just now. It's back when we used to use shells for currency.